Hey, welcome back. Omar Martin here, along with my beautiful wife,
Melinda Martin.
and we're going to continue talking about page protection and a couple things I want to do in this video. So this is the page that Melinda was referring to when we ended that last video, and basically this is where you designate where people will be taken to when certain situations happen. For example, let's say that we have a person trying to access one of the pages in the website, but they're not logged in. Well, in that particular case, we want them to see the non-members errors page, right? So you can go over here and designate out of all of the pages you have, which of those would display in that particular situation. You can do the same thing here with one called an error called wrong membership level. So for example, let's say the user is logged in, but they try to access material that they're not allowed to see. So
Maybe they didn't purchase it, they
correct.
didn't pay for it. So.
Correct. So like if it's a paid member, rather a free member, and they click on a paid member page, well, then they need to be displayed an error page, and that page is called the wrong member level page. So you could designate which page that is. The point being, there are various different errors like that. There's a membership canceled, membership expired, membership requires approval. And this is where you would designate what is going to display when this happens, or you can, what page is going to display, or you can even redirect them to an external URL, which we don't really do. The other thing that you can just designate here on this settings page is a couple of other things, primarily the after log out. So where they're going to be taken after they log out, and usually that's just the login page. Another thing that you might be tempted to change, and we're going to tell you not to, that is this after registration, after login, this section right here, leave those alone. The reason you're going to leave those alone is because you've already set them over in levels. And if you set them in both places, even if you set them to the same exact thing, you're going to break the internet worse than Kim Kardashian ever has. Trust me, we've made that mistake. I don't know if it's a wish list bug or what, but you've already set those here, the after login and the after registration, so there's no need to do that over in the settings tab over here, okay? So before we start actually creating these pages and all that, one of the things that I was just talking to Melinda about, if we come over here to the actual website, as this is starting to take shape, we've still got this ugly sample page that, you know, WordPress makes by default, and we've still got our, when I click support, it's hey,
like,
wait, before you go,
because
what? That's obviously not the page that's supposed to go there. So real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to change this sample page. So what would normally go here instead of a sample page?
like the free content or the earn money.
Right, the earn money page is like a JV page, or a free content page might go there. So let's just go ahead and create those pages, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'll come over to pages, and I am going to go to that sample page, and I'm just going to trash it. I'm going to click trash, and it's going to put that in the trash folder. We can restore a page that we've trashed in case we make a mistake. God knows I've had to do that about a dozen times today alone. But anyway, if we go over to content, I can clone that one, and now I can come over here, change that to free, or free stuff, whatever you want to call this page, and then I can come over here and edit that, and we'll call this slug free. Click OK. I'm going to click update, and now we've got our page. It exists now. I'm going to come over to the editor, and I'm going to change that headline, okay? So just so that we know that we're on the correct page, I'm just going to put this is, or I'm just going to put access your free stuff below. Okay, and I'm going to click insert, and boom, now we have a free stuff page, okay? And again, this is quick and dirty just for sample's sake. So I'm going to save and close, and if we come over here and we refresh, why are we still seeing sample page there? Well, because we still haven't done anything about the menu. So if we come over to appearance, we'll go to menus, and now we just come over here to sample page, and we just completely remove this. No longer needs to be there. We can come over here and tick off free stuff, click add to menu. It puts it at the bottom. Let's go over and put it right after home. And now our menu should read home, free stuff, content, support, and log out. Save. Come over here and refresh. home, free stuff, content, support, and log out. If we click on free stuff, wow, we've actually got a free stuff page. But we've still got this situation going on. Hey, wait, before you go, why don't you go ahead? Okay, so two things we can do here. Okay, now what Melinda and I like to do on our membership sites is on the support page, we actually create a page here that gives them our office hours, it gives them frequently asked questions, it gives them instructions about how to use their support desk, and then there's a button that takes them to our support desk. So that's option A for you. Option B, which Melinda taught me, is you can click this, you can set it up so that when they click support, your support desk actually opens up in another tab over here. Okay, so we're going to try that. Since we've already showed you how to create pages, you already know how to do that and how to add them to the menu. Let's show you how to take somebody to a totally different page using your nav bar. So here we are, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and let Melinda explain that to you here.
So what you want to do is you want to go to the screen options up on the top right corner.
Okay.
And you want to click on link target.
There we go.
Okay, and now on the left hand side where it says custom links, you want to put in the URL for your help desk. In our case, it's hlshelpdesk.com. And then the link text should be support.
Or that could be help or whatever the hell you want to, yeah.
Add to the menu. And be sure to delete the other support, which you have where it says page, correct? And click remove.
We probably should have done that first so we don't get confused, right?
Well, you can tell the difference because on the right side, one says custom link and one says page.
Ah, cool.
So now what you want to do, you just want to move it up one. And you want to save the menu.
Okay, and if we come over here now and we refresh, the menu looks the same because we named it the same thing, but when we click here, let's see if it opens up a new tab and takes us to our help desk. And it doesn't. It is still in the same place. So let's see.
You didn't. We've got to check off the link, open up a new window.
Okay, so if we come over here to support.
Correct. And open link in a new tab.
There we go.
Now save. Now you'll be able to open it in a new window.
Okay, so what happened here is there are screen options. So there are certain things that you can and cannot see depending on whether or not you have these things set up. So basically WordPress allows you to save room on your screen by not showing you everything. And under normal circumstances, if this isn't ticked off, link target, you won't have the option beneath each one of these to set the link target. Okay, so we selected link target here, but we didn't actually tick it off in support. Okay, so now we have it ticked off, and as you can see, all the other tabs also have that option now, but we don't want those to open up in other tabs. Okay, so imagine, I mean, going through here, and every time somebody clicked home, it would open up a new home tab or a new home tab. You'd have your entire menu, your entire browser would be full with tabs, but for the support tab, where they're actually leaving the website, we do want that to open up in a new menu. So let's go ahead and refresh the page, and let's see if the change has taken effect. And boom, now you see how that's actually opening in a new tab. So notice here we're on this tab, right? And if I click support, it just opened a new tab. So my website stays open on a different tab, right? So, okay, now we've got a website that actually kind of resembles a membership site, and we've got this support tab that's going to the support. Hello. So what we want to do now is actually set those permission errors that we're talking about, but we don't have, those error pages. If we come over to, oh, hold on a second. Do we want to navigate? Yeah, we can leave this page, right? We've already saved everything. If we come over here to wish list and settings, you'll see that we are going to need to designate a page for non-members. So where do we want people to be taken to if they try to access material but they're not logged in? Well, we want them to go to the logged in page, the login page. Okay, so we're going to set that there. But what about this one? What about the wrong membership level page? Well, we don't have that page yet. Correct. So we actually have to create an error page so that I can come back here and select that one, right? So let's go ahead and do that before we do anything else here. Let's come back over to pages. And let's go ahead and create that. So if I go to, I'm going to duplicate my content page. Okay, so I'm just going to go and clone the page. I'm just going to go ahead and open that page now, and we're going to edit the name. and we're going to edit the slug. So this is actually going to be called wrong member level. Now, sometimes I'll actually name the page like oops or something like that, because they'll see this this title in the tab. But we'll just call this wrong level for now, and over here we're going to call it wrong level as well. We're going to hit save. We're going to update. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to edit this page. Okay, and what I like to do here is I like to say something like, you know, oops, you don't have access to this material because they're on the wrong level. All right, so I'm just going to put whoops, you don't have access. Oh, not 3 C's. To this. Okay, and I'm just going to click save. Let's go ahead and that text is a little too big, so I'm just going to reduce the font size so it doesn't throw things into 2 lines. There we go. And then over here, it'll say something like, please contact support or upgrade below. Because you can actually put an order button on here if you want to. So you know what I'll do here is I'll link the word support. So I'll click that little link button and I'll put the URL to our support desk. Just makes it for a better user experience. And now that's good to go. We don't need this down here, obviously. But I might want to add my button. So let's select an order button here. And let's say we wanted them to buy another level. We could, okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and select that one right there. Click insert. And for now, that's just gonna, I didn't link it to any kind of a sales page or anything like that, so we'll just leave it alone. But I just did this to give you an example of what you can do on here. You can put a video on here, you can do whatever you'd like on here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and click save and close. And now we have our, we have the page there that is gonna display in case, well, it's not going to display it because we haven't set it up yet. So let's come over, and remember, they're not going to see that on here because we haven't assigned it to the menu. So these error pages, they exist, but they're only displayed if we set them in settings to display in wishlist settings. Let's come over here to wishlist and settings, and now we've got to set them to display. Okay, so non-member error page is they're trying to access material, but they're not logged in as a member. So here we want to select from the drop-down login. All right. Okay. So now the wrong membership level page. This is someone that is logged in, but they're trying to access material that belongs to another membership level that they haven't purchased. So we want the wrong level to display. Membership canceled or membership expired and all of these, you can create ones for this. Frankly, I don't think we do. I don't think we actually use these ourselves in our membership sites. For the after registration page and the after login page, remember, we leave those alone because they're already set in our actual levels section that we already did. But what we do want to do is after log out down here, we do want that one to be the login page. So when somebody logs out, we want them to be taken right to the login page. Okay, so we can click save here. And let's confirm that all of our pages have the correct permissions. Okay, so what we're going to do is go over to content, and then we're going to tick on pages, and we should see all of our pages here. And we already set this, right? So we've got our content, which is only for paid. We've got our home, which is for free and for paid. What I am noticing here, though, is we still have this wait page protected, and we don't need that anymore, right? Because we actually created we were using it as the support page for the example, but now we actually have a redirect for support. So we're not seeing a page here for support because we didn't make a page for support. We're simply redirecting it right from the nav menu with a custom link, right? So what do we do here? Well, we can just unprotect this one. So I'm just going to tick on that, and we're going to edit the protection status. and apply. And we got to select a protection status. And we're going to just tick unprotected and click apply, hit OK. And now that one is unprotected. We don't even need any levels to be assigned to that, right? No, because the wait page is actually going to be what they see as an exit pop, right? If they leave the sales page, which we haven't even created a sales page, because this mini course is not about the sales page, is about the members area. So I'm just going to update that. So right now, this essentially is what we want. The free stuff, is that going to be an unprotected page? No, free stuff, we want to protect it, and we want free or paid members to have access to that one, right? So we want to edit the protected status, we want to make it protected, and we want free and paid members, okay? So if you're saying, well, Omar, but wait, that's the free page. Why don't we just have only free people have it? Well, because a paid member, we're assuming, since they've given us money, they should also get access to the free stuff. So as far as I can tell right now, our protections for this very simple configuration of 2 membership levels and 5 basic pages, I think it's ready to be tested. Okay, now let's confirm that we do have 2 accounts that we can test, right? So let's go over to members. And let's take a look here, and I've got a free and a paid. Okay, so free and a paid. If we go over to take a look at these and we click on the paid, this person, do they have a membership level assigned to them? Yes, and it is paid, and that's important. Okay, they have a nickname, is paid. Do they have a first name? It's paid test. Okay, so this should work. If we log in as paid, or if we log in as free, we should be able to see the name. It should work. Okay, so let's go back over to the home page, and let's go ahead and just come over here, and let's go ahead and log out. Now, if we log out, we've designated the page to be taken to after log out should be the login page. So we click log out, and here we are. We are on the login page. Please log in to continue. Now, let's go and say that we want to log in as free. So I believe the name was that we set up was just free, and the password was also free. And now I'm going to click login as a free member. I don't want to save that. And here we are. Welcome to the members area free test. All right, so that was the name that we'd actually set. And notice we have our home page, we have our free stuff, and we have support, and we have log out. But what's missing here?
The content page.
So we're not seeing the content here because that is a paid member page only. Now, what I like to do sometimes, and not sometimes, what we do in all of our sites is we create our hidden content, our stuff that is like paid material. We make it a sub page. So we'll make it a drop down page so it appears beneath when they hover up over the content page. So this way they could see what they're missing. So for example, we could have a content page here that describes what they're getting, but then when they click to actually try to access the material, they can't see it. That's when they see the wrong level page, right? Okay, so right now this is working. Let's check if support, it does open in a new tab. Let's check now the log out. All right, so this should log us out. Click log out and we're good. Okay, now before we go any further and we test the paid login and all that, it's important that I show you exactly what I mean by creating a sub page and a top level page, okay? I don't want to just skip over this because it's an important membership site tactic, okay? So, all right, we're logged out, so let me log back in this time as Omar Martin so we can do some page editing. Here's how you create a top level page. What we want to do is we want to create, let's go over to pages. We want to go and we want to create a sub page under the content page, and we want the top level content page to be accessible to anybody, but then within it we kind of want it to be like a directory, or want it to list pages that are underneath it, and the pages underneath it we want them to be inaccessible. Why do we do this? We do this so that a member who is just a free member, they can click on the content tab, they can still see that it exists, but when they actually click to access the content itself, they realize, oh my God, I don't have access to this. So essentially, we want to show them what they're missing, all right? And we're going to start by, let's start by cloning the page. Okay, so we're going to clone this page, and we're going to call it something else. So we're going to call it like paid content or something like that. Okay, so let's rename this and call it paid content. Okay, and then we're going to edit this and we're going to call this paid content. Okay, I'm going to click OK. And before I hit update, over here on the right hand side, you see it says page attributes. Okay, we haven't been setting these for any of our pages, okay, but what we're doing here with the paid content, we want it to fall under the parent of content. So we're going to select content for this one, and we're going to click update. Okay, now the page looks identical to the other one, so we're just going to put change this text here so that we know that it's a different page. So we're going to make this say, this is your paid content. Okay, again, this just bear with me here so I can show you exactly what I mean. Save and close. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to add that to a sub menu. All right, and there's still another thing that we need to do, but let's go ahead and go over to appearance, and we're going to go to menus. And what we want to do now is, you see over here how we have the paid content, which is now under the content page. See how it's like indented? That means that this is a sub page. So we want to add that sub page to the menu under content. So we're going to click on paid content. We're going to click add to menu. Remember, it always puts it at the very end. We want to drop it and put it right underneath paid content like that. But we want to make sure that it's underneath it, like indented, so it doesn't take up another line on the main nav, but instead it comes down underneath that content page. Okay, so click save the menu. All right, and now if we come back over here, let's log back in, and if we come over here to content, you see how now there's like a little arrow, and then we have this drop down, so we can click on content, and we still see this top page, but then beneath it, you see how it says this is your paid content. Okay, now what we want now is for the content page to be accessible to everybody. So we need to go and change the permissions, and we also need to do something on here. We got to get rid of this right here. We can't have the downloads on there because that's a top level page. We want the downloads to be on this page. Okay, so again, this is just a different way of setting it up. I'm going to come over here, and we're going to come over to pages. First, let's go and do the permission thing. Okay, so let's go over to wish list. I know I'm jumping around a little bit over here. So let's go to wish list, and let's go to content, and now let's go to pages. Okay, so now a couple little things have happened here, right? So we've got this paid content page, and then we've got this content page. So we want the content page now to be accessible by free members as well. Okay. And we're gonna end up taking the actual content off of there. We're just gonna leave a description of it. So let's update that. And then down here, the paid content is what we want accessible only by paid members. See what we're doing here? Hit update there. Okay, now this is where all the magic comes together here. If we come back over now to pages and we go to the main content page, let's go to live editor. And this is still set up as the actual content page itself. Well, you know what? We're going to get rid of that right there. So now the content ain't on there no more. Okay? And what we need to do here is two things. First thing we need to do is we need to change the type of optimized press page that this is. We're going to come right over here to membership settings. Okay, we're going to tick on membership settings. And you see right here where it says product. Okay, we need to change that. So I'm going to select the change page type. I'm just going to tick on that right there, and it'll illuminate this drop down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the page type. We're going to select category post module. Okay, so now it changed the type of page that this is. Now what we need to do is we need to insert right here an actual page listing. So I'm going to select that element, membership page listing, and we can come right here and select any one of these styles. I'll just select this one right here. And it says show page children only. Okay, so I'm going to tick that box right there. And we don't want to hide the description. We're going to leave the description there because you can create a description for each one of the pages. I'm just going to click insert. And boom, notice how it says paid content, but it doesn't show the description. So we got to create the description over in that page itself. Okay, but now, as you can see, things are starting to shape up here. All right, and if you had more than one page underneath here, it would show all of them. All right, so I'm going to click Save and Close. Let's go over to that paid content one, and let's edit that page. Okay, let's go to Live Editor. Let's come over to membership settings, and let's just enter a description here. So this would be a mouth-watering description of the paid content which they can't access. Okay, so if we click on that, we just hit update on that, okay, and we hit OK. And now we can save and close. Let's come back over here, and if we come over here and click content, boom, there it is. There is our description. And so you see how this would work now. If somebody's logged in as a free member, they would still see the content page. They would still see this one, but if they actually click on it, they wouldn't be able to see this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that. All right, let's go ahead and log out. And let's see if this works. Oh, wait. Hold on. Before we do that, we're going to have to, hold on, I think I missed a step here. Stand by. Let's log back in real quick. Let's take a look at our permissions. Okay, so let's go over to wish list, content, and let's go over to pages, and let's make sure that we're good to go. Okay, so the content, we want it accessible by free and paid. But the paid content, we only want it accessible by paid. It is set to paid, but it's not protected, okay? So we need to make sure that we do protect that, okay? So I'm gonna select an action, and over here it should say protect level, edit protection status, and let's go ahead and protect that page. Hit apply, hit OK, and now that page is protected. All right, so we should be good to go now. Let's go ahead and come back over here. Let's log out, and we're gonna log in as a free member again. Not fee, but free. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work. Log in. Okay, let's close this out. All right, so our home, as you can see, we've got the content, but we're logged in as a free member, but we're not seeing the drop down anymore. Okay, well, we're going to show you how to fix that in a second. But if we click it, you'll see there's the actual, the child page, and there is the description. This is that mouth-watering description of the content that I was talking about right here. So essentially, somebody who is a free member can see a description of what they're missing. But if they click to access it, it says, oops, you don't have access to this. Please contact support or upgrade below. And this could be a link to the order page, or it could be, you know, a link back to your sales page, or whatever you want to put on here. But, you know, again, this is how you get people to upgrade internally. So we basically just give them a teaser, so to speak. Right here on the content page, we show them what they don't have access to. Now, if you're wondering, well, how the hell do you get that drop down there? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to log back in as myself, as an administrator, and there's actually a global setting that's preventing that drop down from showing. If we come over to wish list member, and we just go to settings, and we're going to come over here to protection defaults. You see right here, this very first one that says only show content for each membership level. You're going to tick no. And the moment that you do that and hit save, what will happen now is, let's go ahead and log out, and we're going to log back in as free. Like that, and we click cancel here, and now as you can see, there's the content tab and the drop down. Okay, so we can see the top level content page. All right, so if we come here, it should give us a list of all the other pages that are beneath it, and right now we only have one page beneath it. If we click that, it is protected. Let's go back, and what if we were to go directly to that page in the drop down like that? There it goes. It gives me my wrong level access my wrong level error page. Okay, so obviously this is working here. This is the way that we want it to handle. Now, what happens if we log in as a paid member? Okay, let's log out, and just for sake of argument, paid and paid. Click login. Let's close this. And obviously we're on the home page, free stuff page, nothing has changed there. Here's that content. Here's the top level page. But this time when we click it, since we are logged in as a paid member, we do have access to it. Okay, so now our membership site is working with sub-level pages as well. So you can have a top level page, and you can have, I'll usually do a content tab like this, and beneath it I'll have, my gold content, my silver content, my platinum content. It's all located in this area. So anybody that's logged in, even a free member, can see the tab, can actually go to the top level page and see descriptions here for gold, silver, and platinum, and they can see, I'll even write a little bit about what it's about, but when they click to access it as a free member, they won't be able to see it. They can only see it if they're logged in as we are now, which is a paid member. That appears to be working. It seems like all of our protection. I'm going to log back in as the administrator, as Omar Martin, so now we can come over here and we can get back to editing stuff. So we've created a mini membership site now with protection, with certain levels where people have access to only what they paid for. Now, here's the thing. How does someone actually create their account? So you might say, well, how does Wishlist know who paid and who didn't pay? Well, we're obviously going to have to connect with a payment processor. We recommend that you integrate with JVZoo. That's what we use. Okay, so a couple of quick things here about integration. Okay, so if you were to come over here to integration, you can actually come over here and select JVZoo from the drop down, and you can actually select JVZoo is the one that's enabled now, okay, and you could set it as your shopping cart, and then you're given these little SKU numbers that you would go and use. You could follow these instructions here, so I'm not going to talk to you about setting up with JVZoo. What will happen here is when you integrate this with JVZoo by following these steps here, so you're going to obviously use your own JVZoo IPN secret key, and you're going to follow step 2, and you're going to set your download page. Notice that each member level has its own SKU, okay? And you're going to be creating a product inside of JVZoo for each membership level. Obviously, JVZoo is for charging people money, so you don't need to create one for the free level, but you would need one if you have, let's say, a gold level, a platinum level, a silver level, because each of those you would naturally sell for a different price. So you might have a basic level, which is $7, a gold level, which is $15, a platinum level, which is $47, and what have you. So you would go and create those products in JVZoo with the price points that you want, and then you would follow the instructions here to integrate with JVZoo. Now, there is another way of doing this where you don't have to use registration pages. Now, if you just integrate this way with JVZoo, the registration pages will be, if you come over here, you notice that when we go to levels, if you click on here, it'll take you to the free registration page. So Wishlist automatically makes these for you. By the way, if you want to edit this page, you can modify this page, but this is considered a blog page. So unfortunately, just the way that Optimized Press works, if you want to modify this page and you're wondering, well, Omar, how come I can't put a header in there? Where do I see that page? It's automatically created by Wishlist, so you can't actually go and see it in your pages menu inside of WordPress. So like you can't come over here and go to pages and see the registration pages. But this is actually, it uses the blog templates. So you would actually have to come over here to Optimize Press, and you would go to blog settings, and that's where you would, create a nav bar, or rather, that's where you create a header for your, for your blog. And then you'll see by doing that, it automatically will change this page for you somewhat. There's also areas inside of Wishlist under settings, I believe it is, where you can go to registration page page, and you can actually modify the registration page individually. Now, there's very little settings that you can modify. So, like, let's say we go to free here. You can add HTML code before the registration code, before the registration form, and add HTML code after the registration form. So there's very little stuff. But like if you wanted to add, let's say, a logo, or you wanted to add an image, or if you wanted to add a center command, because this always I have OCD, so it bothers me to know that this space is empty here. I need to see this centered. But anyway, there are little things that you can do like that to modify this registration page. Personally, I don't like using registration pages, even though Wishlist does protect these. So people can't just go spreading the registration link around on you. I like just automatically registering people without them having to go to a registration page. And we do that by using a plugin called WarriorJet. WarriorJet is really cool because it integrates with JVZoo and with Wishlist, and it automatically creates a password for your user when they purchase, and it emails it to them. So they don't have to buy the product at JVZoo and then go to a registration page and create their account. WarriorJet automatically creates their account using the email address that they purchased with, and then it automatically generates a password and emails it to them. So right after the purchase is done, you can actually just take people to a page that says, hey, thank you, congratulations, we've emailed you your password and your login details, and your account's already been created, so within a few minutes you should be receiving that. You know what I mean? So I like doing it that way. It's a little bit more seamless, and that's a more advanced tactic. But I think we've created a pretty cool looking membership site here, haven't we? I mean, it's simple. You can see obviously that there is quite a lot of stuff that you can play around with, and you can create multiple levels. But this series, this mini course, has actually taught you the basics: how to create your pages, how to set your permissions, how to set up with Wishlist, and we've just scratched the surface. I recommend that you watch the training videos from Optimized Press so you can really learn how to design some beautiful looking pages. I also recommend that you watch the training videos for Wishlist so that you can learn all the little shortcuts and all the little tricks that that Wishlist enables you to do. Now, you already know how to create the basics of a membership site, but remember, we told you about a shortcut. We use a skeleton template, and that skeleton template is something that we deploy every time we're going to start a new website, so we don't have to go through everything that we just, as you can tell, I stumbled around a little bit, and that's why I had Melinda here to keep me in check when I make a mistake. But the reason for that is that we don't build these from scratch anymore. No. We have a skeleton. We haven't
built it from scratch in a long time.
Right. It's already done. We've done this so many times that we just decided, hey, let's just make one with all of our pages, everything that we normally do, and let's just save that. And then we redeploy it. We call it the skeleton, and we redeploy it every time that we're going to start a new site, and it saves us tons of time. So I'm glad you've watched all these videos because they're very important for you to learn the basics and for you to understand what's going on. But moving forward, you might want to consider just deploying the skeleton so all of your pages are there and your membership site is already set up. You can just go in and change your colors, change the names of your tabs, and drop in your content. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching the mini course video. Make sure you watch that next video to learn about our skeleton template. And did you want to add anything?
We'll see you then.
We'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye-bye.